Infomercials were the friend of the insomniac and the early morning drunk.
Look at this Ginsu. You can stab an engine block and then slice a thin slice of paper.
Are you the set it and forget it man? Oh, set it and forget it.
Hi, I'm Abby. My dad and I invented this make and bacon dish.
That 8-year-old girl is genius, and she took all y'all money.
So many George Foreman grills were sold that George Foreman is like Nickelback. A lot more people like them that say they do.
Have you ever had one of those days? I mean, don't you hate when that happens? And oh man, you can't catch a break. But do I have a solution for you? Or at least every kitchen gadget infomercial did back in the 90s.
If it's on an infomercial, it's the most important thing that you've ever needed that you didn't know you needed until you were drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Just late nights surfing channels, you stop on this device that you never knew you needed until you just saw it in that very instant.
The very beginning is selling you on the fact that your life is total garbage. You woke up late, your wife hates you, you're getting underpaid, your boss pissed in your coffee, you go home, you don't know how to cook, eating rat poison again.
Every infomercial is a solution in search of a problem.
One very common problem back in the 90s, how on earth am I going to cut through this darn metal can? At least, that's according to this next commercial.
The Ginsu is so sharp it can cut through a tin can and still slice a tomato like this.
I remember the Ginsu knife. This thing could cut through anything. Cut a steel door in half, hedge your plants, and then fillet salmon.
It can chop wood and still remain razor sharp.
Watching somebody chop a block of wood with a knife is a little, it hurts a little. You know, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take so long to sharpen again.
Listen, I think all knives come sharp. After you use them, you gotta sharpen them. They're not gonna stay sharp forever. And if you do find a knife that stays sharp forever, call me, let me know.
The Ginsu knife. And it was also delightfully racist.
In Japan, there are many ways to serve fish, but only one way to slice it, with a Ginsu.
Ginsu! Pwang! Dude, really? You couldn't play that today. You couldn't play that today. It's just like cultural appropriation up the waz, okay?
They're not Japanese, they're from Ohio. And I think they were originally called Quick Cut. Ginsu! Which doesn't actually have a meaning. When they asked the guy who invented the knives, like, what does it mean? He's like, it means I never have to work again.
If we were to crown a king of the infomercial, it would certainly be Ron Popeil. The man is a living legend. But even if you don't recognize the name, you certainly know this phrase. Set it and forget it.
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 The rotisserie, by far, the most successful product I've had since I've been inventing and marketing products.
I mean, a kitchen rotisserie in a kitchen is like the most amazing thing. They will get you like the perfect golden brown, amazing piece of chicken.
I feel like I would want that, but that's because I'm somebody who cooks a lot. I'm somebody who I would love to experiment with that and come up with new recipe ideas.
I've never heard of a tabletop rotisserie before, so I'll just go to Whole Foods or Costco, get that instead. A tabletop rotisserie. Do you need that? Probably not. But when they show you you can do 642 things in it, then you're like, yes, I do.
You get the dual heating tray with lid. You get an instructional booklet and video in case you're buying it as a gift for someone. You get the barbecue gloves.
How have I lived this long without this Showtime rotisserie? Because Ron Popeil is a very, very good salesman.
I'm still inventing products, yeah. It's a passion. It's fun. And anything that you can do that's fun, you're gonna do it.
Of course, Ron Popeil wasn't the only one to master the infomercial. There was one product that became so successful, it seemed like you could find it in every kitchen and dorm room in America. And the man behind it, none other than heavyweight boxing champion, George Foreman.
Oh yeah, I'm George Foreman. Affable, lovable George Foreman. It'd be hard to believe that I got hit in the head for a living, wouldn't it? I'm a natural salesman.
How did George Foreman get into being a grilling master. But I guess if you want to knock out the fat, George Foreman is the guy to tell you how to do it.
This machine knocks out the fat. It knocks out the fat. We're gonna knock the fat out.
This is obviously the 90s. We were all like, no fat, which is strange because now we're like, all I do is Atkins. All I do is fat and meat. But now you'd have that as a smoothie.
I feel like it's a panini press. You throw the chicken or the beef on it, you press it down, right? And it cooks.
I think as a concept, it sounds healthier, but I also feel like the main flavor of food, it is in the fat, it is in the juices, and that's what gives it its umami flavor.
So many George Foreman grills were sold that George Foreman is like Nickelback. A lot more people like them that say they do.
Not every pitchman was a world-famous athlete. Actually, not every pitchman was even a man, or an adult for that matter. Enter 8-year-old Abby Fleck, a young inventor with a taste for bacon.
Hi, I'm Abby. My dad and I invented this bacon dish.
And it's yours for just $6.99. That's
yes,
right, you heard me.
$6.99.
My dad was cooking bacon on a Saturday morning like he always did, but after it was done cooking, it was dripping with grease. It was really gross. And I said, yeah, we should cook it hanging up.
It looked like miniature telephone poles without the wire, and then you just draped bacon over it. You hung it, which made you have bacon that was U-shaped.
It's actually letting the bacon cook evenly, not in its fat. So it should get crispy on all the sides. So that 8-year-old girl is genius. And she took all y'all money.
I do not make my bacon in the microwave. Shocker.
Cooking bacon in the microwave is like cooking fish in the microwave. You want to smell bacon for the next week? Go for it.
Kitchen gadgets are bigger than ever. We've got air fryers, the sous vide, and yes, of course, the Instant Pot. And now, thanks to the internet, we're all food connoisseurs, or at least we're trying to look like we are.
You know, it's getting to the point where you go to a restaurant and the waiter comes over and he's like, is there something wrong with your meal? You haven't taken a photo of it yet.
They care more about what it looks like, 100%, how it tastes, and how many likes did they get.
It has to look good for it to taste good, right?
Most of my food is pictures of hot dogs. That's why I call it food porn.
Bottom line, whether you're cooking it on a stove, a George Foreman grill, or in an Instant Pot, or yes, even just looking at it, it's clear we're all still obsessed with food, and that's never going to change. You know, they say men think about food every 7 seconds. Wait, is that food?